Hi everyone, it's Jam from Jam Plans Things, and I'm back for 2019. Sorry for the delay, but I'm gonna get straight into it and introduce to you a couple of the materials I'll be using today. So I've started off by sketching everything with the Kuru Tega Advanced Pencil, and then I'm also using the Rotring Isograph to do a lot of the line work today. So I'm doing a little bit differently than last time where I painted most of the line work, and I'm just gonna start off by doing a little bit of technical drawings. So on my Instagram, I had asked you guys during my break what you would like to see me draw this month, and a lot of you said bakeries or sweets, so Valentine's, but not overly love hearts. So I tried to do something a little bit different. But I have slowed down the camera a little bit here because I think Humphrey wanted to say hi or steal my brushes. So he was a terror, absolute terror this week. He did not like that I was back and working and not playing with him. So he tried to sit on my drawings most of the time, or like right now he's trying to attack the camera. Most of the time he's pretty okay, but I think he just wanted extra attention, especially because I had been away at Korea for a couple of weeks, and I'm gonna think like that he probably missed me. So I will do a whole video of all the stationery that I picked up in Korea. So a big thank you to everyone for suggesting this theme to me. I was actually quite surprised because I think it's probably February, everyone thinks of Valentine's Day, but I was quite pleased with how many people, I think maybe like 15 to 20 people actually suggested the same thing, so bakery and sweets. Because of the way I'm painting it this week, I'm going to be using the Holbein palm box, mainly because I find the paint from the Japanese brushes, the Japanese and Korean paints, to be a lot brighter, and I'm using the Isabey Kolinsky brush for almost everything. So it's just a nice simple round brush that I find snaps really well to a point. What I was saying before is that I find that the Asian brushes, Asian paints, sorry, have a lot more clearer or brighter colors. They use a lot more like artificial dyes in their pigments, and I think it might be because of the aesthetic that a lot of the paints try to achieve. So it's very popular for florals and things like that, and if you think like anime backgrounds and everything, they use really nice bright colors, where I find a lot of the European paints a little bit more earthy because I think they're more focused on landscape and more traditional watercolor painting. So because of the theme this month and I wanted it to be nice and bright, I'm using my Japanese set of paints. I'm mainly using like quinacridone and roses and pinks to get the colors, and to warm the pink up a bit I mix a little bit of a translucent yellow in it as well, and that's the same with the blue. I actually mix a little bit of yellow into the blue just to give it that bit of a cyan look instead of just the pure like ultramarine blue, which I find a little bit too cool. Any details that I'm painting today, I'm using this I can't pronounce it. It's the same brand that makes White Nights paints, and they have a really affordable range of Kolinsky brushes. I'm slowly trying to move my Kolinsky brushes into synthetic brushes so they're a little bit more animal friendly, but at the moment I still am quite attached to the ones that I have, so I have been using them probably until they will die. I'm just switching a little bit to the Sakura Micron felt tip pen. That's like my old faithful pen, mainly because I wanted something that was super consistent. Sorry about the camera movement just then. What happened was Humphrey came in, he actually knocked the entire tripod over. And so for my monthly this month, I'm doing a little bit more of a traditional calendar, mainly because in February I'm back at university. I teach at the university for like summer intensives, so I have to have a little bit more of a traditional calendar because I have to organize my time a little bit more, and just plan classes and make sure that everything is marked on time. So that's when I tend to use a more traditional layout. But for most of the time you find me using a more of a free layout, but this time round I find that when I have something quite regimented, this works a little bit better because it gives you an easier overview. You compare events between the weeks as a really quick glance. I'm just using the pale pink at the moment to paint the weekends in, And in the cupcake, in Amanda Rachel style, I've got my little trackers on my monthly this time, and not on my ideas page, and that's just for my YouTube channel and my Instagram page. So I'm now doing a mood tracker. I wanted to do something a little bit different for the mood tracker this time around. I wanted to make, like, in keeping with the sweets theme, I've got a cake, and I'm having it pink, obviously. And how I'm going to do the mood tracker this time around is I'm going to paint the layers inside the cake, kind of like a rainbow crepe cake. So I'll do a thin layer of paint for the cake, so it'll kind of look like the inside of the cake is made of rainbows by the end of the month. So I think it'll be a bit fun, but I'm hoping that that works pretty well. But I just wanted a different spin on the mood, because I kind of like really playing with my mood trackers and doing something a bit different. So I think this one will be quite fun. So I'm just marbling a little bit of the edge, you know, like the modern buttercream cakes, and a little bit of chocolate running through there as well. So it's fun. These cakes are hard to eat, but they look great. And I'm just using those pink bubble motifs that I've been having throughout the drawing so far. This is the synthetic brush series that I've been using. I quite like using them, and I use the synthetics when I'm using something like a masking fluid, because I don't want to be ruining the more expensive Kolinsky brushes in the masking fluid. So the thing is, if you rinse the brush very often while using masking fluid, it shouldn't be a problem anyway, but it's better safe than sorry. So the Princeton brush, I think it's like $2 to $3 each. I bought it online, and I'm pretty pleased with how it's working, and I use it a lot in some of the bigger paintings as well. This is my ideas page, and I'm trying to keep it as consistent as possible. What I'm doing is I'm just using this Mono Zero eraser to push the masking fluid off, and it kind of has the added benefit of rubbing out the pencil underneath, so the watercolor looks a bit clearer. The ideas page is kind of like where I just put like little scribbles, lists and stuff throughout the month, and I've kept it really simple. Sometimes I make little boxes for them. This time around I wanted it quite clean. Something a little bit different this month, I'm just tracking expenses a little bit more, and I wanted just to kind of just see how it's going. I have like an app on my phone that does it for me whenever I spend money, but I find it a little bit better to shame myself by by writing it down as I go. So I've got 4 columns. I've got one for food, home, health, and any shopping things I do, and I'll total it at the end of the month. You can probably do the little stripes that I've done across just with like a Tombow or like a mild liner, but I do like the softness that I can get with the watercolor. And if you haven't been paying attention as much, I've been using the same puddle of watercolor the whole time, and to get the variation in the tones, all I'm doing is adding more water, but it's the same color the whole way through, especially with that expense page. I tried to keep it as simple as possible, because you kind of don't want to spend too much time doing your finance pages. On my right, I've got a little TV tracker, which is a little bit different because I haven't done one of those before, and I've just got the series that I'm watching at the moment with little rectangles for each one, and I'll just tick them off as I go, and you'll notice that some of the boxes were different heights, so that's because some of the series were a little bit longer. So each box represents one episode. So I'm going to try that as well a little bit, mainly because I'm really into K-dramas at the moment. Probably because I went to Korea and I spent the whole time when it was too cold to go outside watching TV, so that's alright. And playing with stationery. It was a great holiday visiting the in-laws. And so this is my weekly, sticking with the bakery theme, so I'm doing a cakery this time. I'm still using the soft pink colours, and I've outlined everything in the Rotring to start off with. And the Rotring, because it is so fine, I do like doing hatching with it. I'm doing shadows this time around with purple, because I don't want it to have grey shadows, because I feel that's a little bit too cold. So using the purple shadows, it kind of just gives this like nice, soft, girlish, pastel-y look to the overall drawing, which I kind of really like in terms of tone and everything. When I'm using the Archer and Olive notebook, I find that because the paper is so white, the way the paint sinks in, you do need a little bit more paint if you want it to look really pigmented. I know Bonnie uses gouache, so you wouldn't have that problem if you were using gouache, but with watercolor it does sink through a little bit, so I do have to build up the colors over time, which works pretty well in this notebook because the paper is so thick, so you don't really get any bleed through, so you can do something like that. So I'm painting when you're painting windows, you'll notice that it's always black in real life when you look at a window. But for something like this, because I don't want to do a dark window, I kind of just reflect the color of the sky within the windows itself, and it kind of creates some translution and reflection to the overall look. And making sure I'm adding like a nice happy green, and the green actually has a little bit of the pink mixed through it just to warm it up a little bit, and I feel like that helps to tie everything together. So that's the main idea that I've been going with for this week. I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun this month because the buildings do look kind of architectural. It's kind of my bread and butter. I've been avoiding drawing too many buildings because it feels like work then. But when they're like this, it's kind of cute. So here's a quick flick through of my February setup. I'm really glad to be back. I'm really glad you guys are still watching my videos while I was on holiday. I'm sorry I took a bit of a long one, but I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I had a ball making it, except for the bit where Humphrey sat on everything a lot. But I'm looking forward to getting back into it, and I'm hoping to get back on a regular posting schedule pretty soon. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys and chatting with you guys this year. Thank you. Bye.